Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Howdy, everybody. We're here with Tim Thurber, the legend, the man, sometimes the myth of craziness. But we're going to sit here and shoot the shit for a little bit and see what the hell he's been up to.
Well, about 5'11", actually.
So you just come off tour, didn't you?
Yeah. We are got off about 2 months ago, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I've been doing nothing. It's kind of
Well, I know you got the whole beard thing going on now, and
sheer laziness.
I don't blame you on that.
Yeah.
Dude, they can't even see us on that Facebook thing.
Well, I guess that's a good thing.
I don't know. Maybe we need to put it back up towards the screen. I don't know. For everybody wondering, and this is what we've done, especially for people that are listening on the podcast. What we're doing is we're doing a live feed through Tim's Facebook page. I just set it right up there. We'll try to get it. Through Tim's Facebook page. And we've never done this before, and I don't think not too many people have done it. So we're going to see what all we can do.
Just make it up as we go along.
Yeah, I was able to Bluetooth his phone through my board. So all the audio and everything you could hear on the Facebook. So it's actually pretty cool. So this is all you're doing. You know that, right?
I won't take any responsibility.
Yeah, you will. You're going to have to do some responsibility. So this is us on Facebook Live having fun, and I can't even read what's being printed on the screen up there.
Yeah, we'll just let that slide and have to go back to it afterwards.
Yeah, we'll have to play with it a little bit. All right, so you just got off tour. You're bored.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you come up here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had absolutely nothing else going on.
Man. Well, one thing I want to know, because we had known each other but maybe a year.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get started at? What made you go to the music industry and do all this stuff?
Well, I mean, I come from a small town in Athol, Massachusetts, and a lot of guys up there, they play, and I just kind of got wrapped around in it. My brother was a drummer, and I always played guitar back then, and so I played it with a bunch of people up there, and then I had another friend of mine that was like, dude, he says, he heard me play drums one day, and he says, I think you're a better drummer than you are a guitar player.
Hey, well, sometimes it works that way.
Yeah, sometimes the instrument picks you.
Yeah.
But, he's like, you ought to pack up drums and move to Nashville with me and start a band. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I did. I packed up and moved to Nashville and started playing with him. And, to this day, I kind of figured that was his way of saying that I really was a shitty guitar player.
Damn.
But yeah, I kind of got wrapped up into that, and we toured around a whole bunch in a van, and brought the music to the people, and I did a lot of various different jobs, and kind of worked my way around Nashville, met a lot of people, and just kind of got wrapped up into it.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, because I think the first time I actually seen you play anything was down on the bus.
Yeah.
It's you did pretty good.
Well, hey, not bad for somebody who's making it up as he goes along.
I just got to check you out on drum set next. When are you going to play drum set?
Hopefully someday when I get to a house where I can actually set them up.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
Well, you get cramped. That's like me doing this out of the house, it's all in my dining room. You get a little cramped. You could probably set up a good drum kit here, but who knows?
You have to lose the table.
Man, you got a lot of comments up there.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of other people that ain't got nothing going on at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Well, I don't think there's any football games on right now, so everybody's just sitting around bored like we was.
Yeah. I figure, hey, this would be a good time to do it. So
yeah, might as well. All right, so you get to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
What band did y'all start?
We had a band called Shed. We were together for about, off and on for about 15 years. And, we got to do a lot of opening shows for some of these national acts. We did pretty well. We've been accredited by being turned down by every major label in Nashville. So we got that going for us. That was pretty good.
Hell, that's just about everybody. Everybody gets turned down at least 3 times.
Yeah. And, when the band broke up, me and the guitar player, we, kind of did a bunch of different stuff together. We did a TV show together called Barn Breakers.
Right.
And got turned down by everybody for that one, too. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Made it all the way around the country. It was a lot of fun, yeah. So
Hollywood's just as bad as the music place, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So did that, and then sometimes I get bored, and I wanted to do some videography stuff. So I got on the TV show Nashville, and as an extra to learn how to do videography and lighting, and I'd bug the heck out of the crew members and just say, hey, teach me something. And so I did that for about 2 years, and every once in a while they'd be like, oh, go sit over here. And next thing I know, I found myself on camera, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah, well, some of them big setups they've got, man. I mean, it's we had a lot of films on, and they're just an indie group, and they were telling us all the stuff that they have to go through just as an indie group. So I can imagine how big that production was on Nashville. I mean, it was huge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were bussing people in for extras for, behind the scenes, and it was pretty wild. Yeah. Well,
I'd hate to see the budget.
Yeah. It was up there.
I mean, that's a lot of damn people, man.
Yeah.
Because I think they was having it right off Brick Church Pike, one of the big main warehouses over there they were using.
Yep.
I mean, it was huge.
Oh yeah, they shot all over Nashville, and one day they asked me if I wanted my truck in one of the scenes, and I was like, absolutely. So my truck made more money than I did that day.
That's sad.
It's
Man.
I mean, it got fuel.
Hey,
So,
there you go.
It was kind of neat though. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I've always been into some random stuff. I did infomercial acting.
Yeah.
Which that was interesting. And I saw this.
What was you doing? Laxatives?
Nowadays, I need it.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, it was the Ginsu knives and the genie chop.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, cut through a can and go right through a tomato.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I remember those.
Good times. Yeah.
Walk around with a knife all day.
Oh yeah, no, it was interesting. It was another one of those days that I got bored at the house, and I just happened to be seeing this little ad on the newspaper, and I was like, actors. And it says dress professionally. Well, what you see here is about as professional as I get. So
That's
me.
me.
Screw it. And I went down there and filled out the little application thing and sat in the office with about 20, 30 other people there, and this guy comes out and he's grabbing people and bringing them into this one room, and guy kept coming out and he's looking at me, and of course I look like shit, I haven't showered and just got done cutting wood, I was like, what the hell?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So the guy, he I just kept looking at me. Finally my name comes up and he goes, oh, you're Tim. I says, yeah, that's me. So they brought me into this one room, and there was a panel of like 4 or 5 other people there, and they're like, have you ever done this before? And I'm like, shit, no. I says, I just seen it on the newspaper thing there. And so they asked me to read, and they says, well, did you read the dress professionally thing? And I'm like, yeah, of course, I saw that. And I says, but this is the time you guys had it, and I wasn't about to go get some nice clothes now. I says, I just figured I'd show up and see what it was all about.
Yeah.
And
at least he's being real.
yeah.
I hate the fake stuff they do.
Yeah, no, it was about as honest as I could get. And so they had me read, and I left thinking, well, that was interesting. At least I, got in front of a bunch of people and tried acting,
Yeah.
And they ended up calling me back.
Sweet.
Yeah. And so I came back, and it turned out that I was 1 out of 5 people that was hired out of 300 applicants.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was a fun gig.
You played the field.
I just did whatever the hell I could.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do sometimes. I've never done that. I've seen it. I've seen the ads for it and stuff. And I think when Craigslist was big, they had ads on there all the time for stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I never done it. I don't know. I never thought I'd look good on camera. But I pandered there for a minute.
I say that makes two of us. That makes two of us.
Well,
This is a cool setup you got here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, nice cameras and everything. It's pretty cool.
Well, I took the knowledge that I had from the sound and lighting and everything from around Nashville and just kind of put it all together. The first show I did, I had an audio problem, so I had to cancel the whole show. And then I've been messing with the lighting, trying to get, I want to get a natural lighting,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and this is what I've come up with.
Yeah, you just need better looking guests.
Nah, I don't care. I ain't picky.
Well, he can't be. I mean, you got me here.
And we still got, still can't read nothing on the Facebook thing.
Well, I mean, it looks like there's 12 people on there.
Yay.
Yeah, that's 12 people that I guess I'm going to have to apologize to you after.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can apologize beforehand if you want to.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. Man.
But yeah, we got off the road about 2 months ago, and all of us are getting excited to go back out. I mean, I talked to a couple of guys, and they're just sitting around, just kind of making shit up as they go along. And I think everybody's ready to go back out and get back to work, and bring the music to the people. And it's a fun gig.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how many shows do you normally do a year?
Well, these guys, they do maybe about 70, 75 out of the year. I normally will be out on the bus because I'll drive for different artists.
Right.
And so I'll try to be out as much as I can. So if they're not doing anything, I'll try to go out and make some extra money and, buy more instruments for my kid.
Well, yeah.
He's getting better gear than I am.
How many instruments is he up to now?
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Three guitars, 2 amps, and they're all nice in the mine.
When's he going to pick up the banjo?
Well, we'll have to have a conversation about that. Maybe when he moves out here to Portland.
Hey, well, it's what I like about up here. It's quiet. Don't have to worry about too many people bugging the crap out of you.
No.
I can sit out on my back porch. I don't hear no noise.
No.
When I lived in Nashville, it was nothing but cops running everywhere, the helicopters flying over. I mean, that's all you got down there.
Mm-hmm.
Get out here, I can still see the stars.
Mm.
I can do the bonfire out back. Nobody's calling the cops to have me put it out. And we just kick back and relax, man.
Yeah, have a few beers and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's real enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out in Murfreesboro. Christ, it'll take you about an hour to get from one side to the next.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's where I live. I lived in Murfreesboro right there off of Salem. I think it was Salem. It was an apartment down there.
Mm.
And you could stand out on the balcony. It didn't matter when. And you was hearing the sirens and everything. And I just got tired of it. Didn't want to hear it no more.
Yeah.
I just wanted peace and quiet.
Mm. Yeah.
So
well,
get
nice.
out here.
It's nice. I like it. I definitely like it.
We're still on 13 people.
I can't tell. I think people dropped off.
We're boring, man.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's let's see, Bus World.
Bus World.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool job to be in. You know, I mean, I just call myself a glorified chauffeur. And that
I've heard it terminology as glorified babysitter.
well, sometimes there is some babysitting going on, you know, making sure some members get back up on the bus and you ain't leaving with anybody.
Yeah.
That was when we used to tour with my band years ago. Of course, we had a conversion van and a little trailer that we toured around in. And,
People still do that though, don't they?
oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the only way you can get heard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know anything about the technology of TikTok or Facebook or any, I mean, I don't know anything about it. But I mean, I guess people are getting found off of that stuff, which is cool. But I'm just old school. I mean, just bring the music to the people and get there as however you have to get there.
Yeah. I always loved like downtown doing the live shows and stuff, the lights and sound down there. I always loved it because I could see their reactions, people getting into it. Some of them getting more drunk than they needed to be, but you know, it was just a blast to see something that I was creating.
Yeah.
And see the response to it. I mean, some of the shows were they were pretty far out there, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think one of the best shows I ever did was it was a small band out of Nashville, Jones World. I don't know if you know him or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember your name. But anyway,
it's okay. He's not watching.
Yeah, I know it. I think it was Josh, maybe, I can't remember. But he would put together these shows, man, that were all themed, and it was blues type music. It was, I mean, he did like a Prince show. I mean, it was pretty wild, and he had his own LD. His own LD brung, you know, his gear to add to what I already had down there. And then I was like, I'm going to get a couple more movers and put with it. And that was the most fun I ever had working with another LD.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast, man. And I don't think anybody recorded that show.
That's the worst.
I've been trying to find any kind of video, anything. I just can't find nothing.
Yeah. We have, I mean, I've seen some pretty wild shows. The one show that I've always wanted to go see was Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And I've never had the opportunity to go out there and go watch it.
I'm not sure they're as good as what they used to be.
Yeah.
Because now it's just the one dude?
I have no idea.
Because I know back in their heyday, back in the 70s and 80s, man, it was just, they had, you know, shit floating around everywhere, the big pink pig and all that stuff. I mean, that would have been cool as hell.
Yeah, they got a hell of a laser show.
Yeah.
Never got to see it, though. I
Yeah.
just wanted to.
I tell you that. And I'm an old metalhead. I've seen all kinds of shows. But the best show I ever seen was down in Atlanta. And people make fun of me how I pronounce this band's name, but Rammstein.
Okay.
Dude, everything was together. Even though I'm an old school light director, their lighting was all computer, everything, and every bit of it was right on time. Because you know how sometimes you'll get that lag every now and then, or they just paint certain scenes. Dude, their lighting was off the charts.
No doubt.
Hey, if you ever get a chance to see them, go see them.
All right.
They're badass.
Yeah.
And if you drive for them, call me.
I will definitely do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting world, this whole music industry and television, and I've been picking up songwriting, trying to learn how to write songs. But my problem is that I get into one line and I'm like, well, shit, that's all I need to say, and then I'm done.
Oh yeah, dude, I know people out there. They can write the hook, but when it comes to actual verses, they can't get it together.
Yeah.
To fit with the hook. But
yeah.
I mean, it's like me riding around in the truck all day. I can sit there and sing hooks all day long, just make up crap in my head, but I can't get the verses and everything. And then I don't write them down. I don't record. I don't do nothing. So,
you know, every line has to paint the picture.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm not good at. I mean, I've always been one of those guys that's just, either I play drums or, back people up as a guitar player, or shoot in, EPKs for people,
Mm-hmm.
and putting things together. But boy, I'll tell you, I cannot write a song to save my life.
Well, you play a guitar great. I mean, you ought to be able to sit there and plink something out.
I mean, like I said, I get into one line, I'm like, well, shit, that's it. That's all I got.
So what rhymes with this? Who knows?
She broke my heart, bitch. That's all I got. All right.
Man, we wrote one a long time ago. It's I met a pretty lady, and I can't go into the rest because it just got perverted. I'll get out.
Yeah, let's try to keep this PG.
Yeah, it's like people make fun of me. You hear music and all that stuff, and then you change it,
Well,
and it always goes to the perverted side.
I think that was the pot smoking days.
Yeah, well, we do not abide.
Yeah.
Not lately, anyway.
But this is cool, man. I mean, I get like 1, 2, 3, 4 different things going on here on this TV screen.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, once I get the internet, because it's Wi-Fi right now, but I've got to get the computer set up and get hardwired so I can do more live stuff. So, well, once I get all that done, I can actually do the cameras through the live, and everything else will be cool. So,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
gives me something to do.
Let's see if there's any questions being asked.
Yeah, let's check it. Who knows what's on there? Put your readers on.
Gotta get my readers. Let's see here. Got a lot of haze.
A lot of haze. Hey,
Yeah, hey,
hey, people.
Got. Oh, look at there. There's Aaron Stoll, Ron, Candy, Sup.
Yeah, I told a lot of people about it. I don't know.
Let's see here. Alex says, "Hey Tim, did you practice how to set up drums faster than some better cable management?"
Uh-oh. Is that an issued challenge there, or?
Well, my cabling is not always the greatest.
Dude, I'm a cable nut.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are, he's, I don't know. I've never been that good at it. Let's see if I can get this thing back to where
It was in there somewhere.
it is in there somewhere.
That'll work.
So, as far as cabling is concerned, being a drum tech, we've got this drum set we had these cables wrapped up properly around, and it looks nice and neat and everything.
Right.
And then I come along, and I just don't make it look all that great. I'm more worried about getting the job done and getting everything set up and how they sound than how it looks,
Oh, yeah.
But hopefully this next year I'll get back on it
Yeah.
and I'll do better. But
Well, I mean, you did some drum teching, right?
well, it's drum teching and guitar teching, and I mean my position is actually a utility tech, which means I set up everything.
Right.
I mean my job is just to do whatever I can to get everything done as quickly and efficiently as possible, and I've never done that kind of stuff before.
Oh, dude, cabling is like an art form.
And finding problems like during a show, if there's something that's going on, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to be quick to
Oh,
get
yeah.
on there. And there's a couple times that I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna get fired. But yeah, so before every show, I have a panic attack.
Oh, yeah.
Until after like the second song, I can start to breathe a little bit and be like, okay, all right, there's no issues, But fly dates are always the toughest for me because we're not using our gear.
Yeah.
So we have to just, bring what we can with us on the plane, and we just go out there, and hopefully that the company we're getting the gear from is got good gear. And there was this one time where the snare head just wasn't seated right, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was changing snare heads around in the middle of a song, just doing everything I can to get it going. But I mean, the more I'm into this, it's easier and faster for me to find the problems and fix them as they go.
Well, that's what I was curious about, because you see a lot of bands that they'll do the United States, but then they'll tour Canada and a couple of other places. I didn't know if you actually went with them or not, as far as the tech and everything.
Yeah. We did a show in Delaware, and then we flew to Calgary, I think, out in Canada, and the buses met us out there.
So y'all just took what gear you could?
Just for the flights, yeah, for that one gig, that one off. And then yeah. So I mean, we'll go wherever we need to go.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope they still like me enough to keep me around for next year.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean,
you know, but yeah, it's a fun gig, but it's stressful. I mean, the first month or so of me doing it, of course, I want to make sure I do a good job, and
yeah.
you know, I keep the drummer happy, and you know, the guitar player happy, and everybody's all set up. I mean, there was this one time that I was tuning I don't know if I should tell this story, actually. I'm not going to tell the story.
Well, we're not going to use names anyway.
No.
But if it's something that somebody's going to go, you son of a... No, just let it go, man.
No, these guys picked on me for about a good, I don't know, ever. And because I was tuning a bass, and for some reason it was in my head that it was a 4-string, but it was an actual 5-string.
Oh.
And so he got up on stage and he started playing, and it was not in tune, and I got the look, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you get the look, you know you're in deep shit. So,
damn it.
yeah, but you know, it's a good thing I only made that mistake once, maybe twice.
Maybe twice. The only thing I always hated, because I've helped set up some bands here and there, and you're setting them up, and next thing you know, the drummer's coming up, and he's just like raising hell because you didn't put a certain cymbal in a certain spot, and they go apeshit over that stuff.
Well, I mean, they're paying you to do a job.
Well, yeah, I know.
If you're gonna do it right, you know. And I mean, do people make mistakes? Yeah, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but you know, I mean, I don't know the backstory on that. I mean, the tech could have been screwing up constantly. Who knows?
Well, I mean, his tech wasn't even there.
No.
I was just kind of helping out a little bit, you know. And I had to run the cables and everything for the mics to mic it all down, you know. And he was, I think I was like, I don't know, 6 inches off. And he was just raising hell about it. And I'm like, dude, I ain't your damn tech.
Well, yeah, sometimes people get a little overboard.
Oh, they get crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, though.
It is a lot of fun.
Because I didn't care about him.
My favorite time is, you know, after the show's over, and you know, it's being on stage and playing was a lot of fun for me, and I enjoyed it. But I think that teching and being on stage behind the curtains and watching these guys do their job, and then watching the crowd, you know, get into it the way they do is that's pretty intense.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of the songs that they play is, you know, I mean, you'll get a lot of guys out there bawling their eyes out like little babies, and it's just like, wow, dude, that's intense. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and being a part of that. And then after the show's over, I mean, the song, as soon as the show's over and the house music comes back on, all of us guys get right back to work, and we're ripping down, you know, the set and everything. And there's always a crowd of people that come up to the stage and are asking for silly things, you know. And of course, they want guitar picks and set lists and things like that.
And drumsticks,
whatever they can grab, anything, you know. And they have and towels. Can I get a towel? And I was like, I don't know if you really want this towel, you know. Like, I don't care. I'm like, well, people blow their nose on this towel. You know, you sure you want it?
Oh, maybe they're wanting their, you know, the DNA like Sheldon on that one thing. Even, I have the DNA. You know.
But it's awesome though, man. It's I absolutely love everything that I do.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you got to.
Yeah. Out of all the stuff that I've done, I mean, it's put me in this position that I'm in now, and who knows where it's going to go from here.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you get to meet a lot of people, a lot of people. Whether they remember you or not, who knows? But you get to meet a lot of people, and sometimes some of that pays off. I mean, hell.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, I don't remember everybody that I meet, of course. But,
Oh, it's hard to.
But
There's people I've done light shows for. I can't even tell you their name.
yeah. There's certain things that I do remember. I mean, we played a show up in Massachusetts with the Shed Band, and there was a bus of handicapped people that were coming in, a bunch of kids with Down syndrome. And
Cool.
am I saying that correct? Is that politically correct? Okay, just want to make sure I don't want to offend anybody.
No, you're good.
But the guitar player, he grabbed one. He was sitting down there, he's watching this one kid, and he's just going nuts, and all the other girls around him were just going nuts, and finally he just went down there and grabbed the kid and brought him up on stage, and he's having him play the guitar and stuff, and all the girls are just freaking out, and man, that kid just, he became famous after that.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
That's what I love, though. I mean, I think there's even some stuff on YouTube you'll see where somebody's doing a show and they pull somebody up or, playing with them. And I think a couple of guitars have been given to them and all kinds of stuff.
The interaction between the artist and the crowd is it's pretty awesome. I mean, especially when they have them join in.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these national acts. They'll have a sign out there in the audience saying, "Hey, I want to play this song" or whatever. And
yeah.
They actually get them up there to do it. I mean, that's a gift that person will never forget for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen several of them where somebody's holding up a sign in the crowd, and it's like, I challenge you to a guitar riff off or something, and they bring them up on stage, and it's just like, dude, this kid can play, man.
Oh, yeah.
Even the guys up on stage are like, dude, you rock,
Oh, I'll tell you, I've always said one thing about Nashville: if you want to hear the best guitar player in the world, go find the guy that's washing dishes.
Yeah. He'll be your guy.
And that's usually what I tell people. It's like, they're like, "Oh, why'd you move to Nashville?" It's like, I wanted to be a professional dishwasher.
Exactly.
Because that's where he started.
Dishwasher, waitress, who knows? I think we've lost Facebook. It ain't moved in a while.
That's all right. They were just sitting there, just like,
oh, there goes one.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Hey, if we don't try, we don't know.
That's right. But, I mean, this is, it's different for me, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I usually don't talk about a whole lot of what I do just because nobody cares.
You'd be surprised. You'd seriously be surprised.
I've always looked at it as like, nobody gives a shit about that. It's just a job.
Look, I told some people about what I was going to do, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing that pops out of their mouth, you going to tell truck driver stories? All right, for everybody listening, I'm going to break this down real quick. Kind of like on the same thing that Tim's done all his life. He's done the music stuff. He drove bus. And you've drove bus for how long now?
4 years.
4 years?
Yep.
All right. I started out in transportation when I was 19. At the same time, I'm doing transportation Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday during the day, I'm doing shows.
Oh, yeah?
That's all I did.
Yeah.
And then I took a hiatus for a while. Of course, the wife thing. You're not making enough money, blah, blah, blah. So I got back into it, and then I started doing just lights. Sound every now and then around Nashville. But the whole time I've been driving truck. I'd come in off the road, go straight downtown. I'm sleeping in my car, doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got out of it. I've been out of it now for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm telling everybody, you know, this is what I want to do because I've got this creative thing. I got to do something, you know, and everybody's telling me I need to do this. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. And right off the bat, they're wanting truck driver stories. I mean, I've got a million of them, but man, I've lived this. This isn't where I was wanting to be in my life. I was wanting to be, you know, running lights and sound for, you know, one of the big name acts, you know. But, you know, Bandit had to take a big part of that.
Well, truck stories are great.
Well, truck stories are good. There's one thing I got to know, though. All right. When we're driving truck,
Yep.
we're going down the road, we can see everything in them cars as they go by.
I know where this is going.
You sat in the bus. Now, your bus actually, your driving position is actually lower than a regular semi. You're about 4 feet, maybe 3.
No, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I always kind of thought it was pretty even because of how many steps you got to go up to get inside the driver's seat.
Yeah, but your bus rides lower than the semi.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're about, honestly, average is, I think it's like 12 foot 10, maybe. Maybe there's some buses that are actually 13. It
yeah.
just depends on what they've got for, if they got satellites and things like that on top
Right.
of the bus. But yeah, I think we're like 12 foot 8.
Well, say in the big truck, I can't see the head
Mm-hmm.
unless they lean down and look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can see their face.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time is like shoulder down
Yeah.
is all I can see.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious about. Could you actually see their face
Oh, yeah.
and down?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We get a lot of idiots that drive right next to the bus just hoping that, you know, somebody's going to open the window and pay them attention. And,
Well, yeah.
you know, and yeah, it's, and we drive a lot slower.
Bullshit.
Well, some of us drive a lot slower. I do.
Okay, 10 years ago, I think the speed limit was 75. I was in Arizona. I had 5 tour buses pass me,
Yeah.
and I'm doing I think I was doing around 70.
Huh.
And these things flew by me like I was sitting still, man. And I was just like, damn, I need to go drive tour bus.
Yeah. It's a fun gig.
It's nice, though, when you're driving a truck and you're driving the bus, and sometimes you'll get artists actually set up in the front because y'all got that little jump seat thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice every now and then to see an artist riding up front, you know, just wave at people as they go by. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they, you know, they just like the view out the window and pretty comfortable chairs, actually.
Yeah.
I've slept in that many times. Actually, I had a friend of mine. He's a bus driver, and I was just sitting in the bus, and I hadn't slept in I don't know how long, and I just happened to close my eyes for a minute. You know how you get that sleep where you're still awake, but you're actually sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
So evidently, I woke up, and he was just like, well, he says, good news for you. He says, you definitely don't need a CPAP, but boy, you snore like a son of a bitch. I was like, okay, buddy. Thanks.
Man.
But
That'd be wild, though. I mean, because y'all do, when you drive the bus, you've got another driver that y'all can swap out and everything, right?
it just depends on how far away the drive is. I mean, I'm a co-driver.
Mm-hmm.
I did do a primary where I was a primary driver for a few acts. But now I'm just co-driver people. But it, you know, generally, if you're going past 10 hours, then you don't need another driver on the bus.
Right.
You know?
It's like 500-600 miles.
Yeah, you don't need another driver on the bus for that generally.
Well, usually the tour guy, doesn't he usually try to keep it down in a certain number in between your tour manager, between shows?
Well, they try to keep it as where the tour manager is not. He's trying to set it up to where they don't have to hire another driver because I mean it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, but if they have to, they just have the driver do the minimal. And generally, if I'm doing co-driving, I mean I've been on tours where I drive maybe 2 hours and then they kick me out of the bus and put me on a plane and fly me somewhere else. And There was one month I think I crossed this country like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Just by flying and driving, and and if you're deadheading, that's always a blast because you ain't got to worry about how you have to drive. I mean, that's the biggest key thing with these buses is that you got livestock in the back.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't want them floating around and falling out of the bunks or anything like that. And,
That'd be funny.
if one of them's peeing and you hit the brakes too hard and the face goes into the into the mirror.
Or the shower. You get showers on the buses. So.
Yeah. Slam on the gas, they go flying back into the shower. Yeah, kind of upsets them a little bit.
Well, I can imagine. Damn.
Yeah, but it's a fun gig, though. I mean, we tend to drive, like, especially in the city and stuff. I mean, it takes us a little while to slow down because, of course, you don't want to hit the brakes too hard and things like that. So
Yeah.
But going into truck driving, I taught truck driving for a school out in Lebanon for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a really fulfilling job. That they, I'm going to send them a plug, Lockhart Trucking Academy, if they're out there listening. Great school. Go to them if you need to get your license. But yeah, I got to teach out there for a year or two, and actually went to school there too.
Sweet.
Yeah, and we had people from all over the world coming to the school.
Well, yeah.
And some of them you can understand, some of them you couldn't.
Yeah.
But they all wanted the same thing.
I mean, the feds now, they've got it to where you've got to attend some kind of school before you start driving.
That screwed over a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Getting their licenses and stuff. I mean, it used to be where I could just train somebody, and I was trying to do that for some of the bus companies, helping people try to get their passenger endorsement. And now you have to be certified, and to go take it, you have to have so many hours, and it just makes it really difficult for people to get their licenses now.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I started, I was special chauffeur license.
Mm-hmm.
You only had to be 19. And I didn't really take any test or anything hardly. I just went and told them, hey, I want I want to drive a big truck. And they said, okay, well, I think it was like 15 questions maybe. And then I wrote it all down and passed it, and they hooked me up.
Yeah.
And now I've been doing that. And then when they changed it from, you had to have the DOT physical, you had to have the special chauffeur's license turned into the CDLA.
Mm-hmm.
I got grandfathered in on it, so I didn't really have to go to any schools or anything.
Yeah, now they're making everybody go, and unfortunately, the cost of these schools are astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only you got to pay $5,000 or $6,000 for a month, but you're in school for a full month, so you can't work.
Oh yeah.
We've had students come in, Christ, living out of their van, and staying in a hotel, just doing whatever they got to do, and they all got families and things like that, and it's just not easy. But I mean, I wish they would lighten up on it a little bit more.
Well, they need to. I mean, there's a huge shortage of drivers, and I'm sure I've got a huge shortage of drivers in bus driving too, don't you?
Yeah, it's I think what happened, and don't quote me on this, but when 2020 hit, the pandemic, a lot of the drivers ended up finding something else, and that they ended up loving. They didn't come back.
Yeah, because I know it hit the music industry real hard.
Yeah, it was strange. I mean, when that whole thing hit, I remember, like a few days after, whatever, I drove up through the lot and I saw every single bus, and I was like, this is the first time I've ever seen that in my life.
Yeah.
It's an eerie feeling. But I was actually playing when they shut down downtown Nashville.
Damn.
Yeah, we were playing at this little speakeasy place off to the side of Printer's Alley, and I can't think of the name of it, but it was if you didn't know it was there, you just didn't know.
Right.
But it was weird because we're sitting there playing, and then we only had 10 people inside the bar watching us because it was us, and next thing you know, we weren't that great,
We were plunking away.
Beat bopping or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
that's when you can take crowd requests.
Yeah, exactly. You want to get up and play? Here you go. That's how we make the easy money. But that was strange because all of a sudden, like, the people started filing in. And the crowd's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm looking over at Morgan. I'm like, what the hell did you do? I'm like, wow, this is getting pretty cool. You know? And people coming in and having a grand old time. And all of a sudden, we stopped playing. We took a break or something. And everybody's like, yeah, the cops are going through downtown Nashville just kicking everybody out. And they're shutting everything down. And I was like, what the hell did you do? Like, Jesus. And but yeah, it was fun. They ended up locking the doors, and we just stayed there till like 3 o'clock in the morning, just partying.
Man.
Yeah. Then when we left, I mean, it was a ghost town downtown Nashville.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was bad.
It was weird, very eerie feeling, but
it was nice on me though, because I didn't have all that traffic to deal with.
Yeah, that was.
I just whizzed right through.
Yeah.
I mean, during the COVID, everybody was locked down and everything. I'm still running. People still got to get their freight.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying paper goods and all kinds of stuff. Everybody's, the big toilet paper shortage. Yeah. I'm like picking up a load of this stuff and running it to a Walmart distribution center. And I'm like, do I need an armed guard or anything? I mean, come on, guys.
That was one of the things that I always, one of the biggest questions that I get asked when I was teaching was, what do you do if somebody gets on your truck? Because they had all that protesting and all that stuff going on, and drivers are getting beat and all of the crap, and so a lot of the students would ask me, like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, this is it's your house.
Yeah.
That vehicle is your house, and if somebody's trying to break into your house, you've got every single right to defend yourself.
Well, exactly. Well, what a lot of people don't understand too is when you try to impede or stop or climb onto a truck, you're actually engaged in an act of piracy. And you have every right to protect yourself. So if you run over 5 or 6 of them, they can't do nothing.
No.
There's nothing. There's no recourse.
Well, they had yes and no, but they had a thing on the DOT would send out to all the apps that everybody had on their trucks and stuff, and they had instructions on how to handle the situation because it was just happening over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And there is people don't realize that truckers, I mean, you piss us off, we're just not going to come to the city,
And that happened a lot.
It did. It happened when there was a kid that just got his license a couple of years ago, it was, I think, and it was up in Colorado. The kid's brakes went out and ended up, unfortunately, killing 4 people.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
Yeah, well, he ended up getting life in prison, so all the truckers didn't go into Colorado.
Yeah.
They just stopped.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, where's our food? Where's this? Where's our toilet paper?
Well, it's over there. Go across the line, you'll get it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they have that power, and now they're trying to. I saw on the news that something about in New York, where they're talking about trying to stop truckers from idling their trucks at night.
Even if you've got a CPAP, I mean, not damn
generator.
Even if you got a generator on it, they're wanting that turned off too because it burns diesel.
Yeah.
And then California, I mean, California is getting where if I think I can't remember what year it is, but if you've got
2010, I think, I'm not too sure.
Was it 10?
Yeah.
I'm not real sure. I can't remember what year it was, but anything older than that, you can't go on. They won't let you through. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what you got.
Well,
they'll have somebody else come out and get it, I guess. I don't know.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, the truck stopped rolling. There's some shit.
Everybody's going to stop rolling. People don't stop and think about that. I love that cup.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it in the Facebook world, but if I lift it up.
There you go.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, man.
A friend of mine got me that cup, and I just giggled. It's a good cup.
I like it.
It's one of those things if you're having a conversation with somebody and you really don't like them, you don't have
Well,
to say
yeah.
anything. Just drink.
Well, I mean, I do it just for hilarity, you know. Hey, just met you. Have a nice day.
Well.
I can't even see what's on the Facebook page now.
Let me go see.
Check it out, man. I need to get me a computer guru in here.
All right. Well. Oh, well. Mikey says hi.
Hi, Mikey.
Let's see here.
Did somebody leave you a rude comment?
Now everybody here is all my old coworkers from Lockhart Trucking Academy. They're on there saying hello. You know,
That second shout out.
that second shout out. They ought to pay me money for this. I tell you. All my Utah family. Yep. All those guys up there.
Only thing I need is just tell them to add a little bit to the big boy fund here.
Oh yeah, let's show that. Here's the big boy fund, boys.
The big
Girls.
boy fund.
That's or just give me some gas money so I can come back out here and do this shit again. But yeah, so this is kind of neat, you know. Let's see, have a nice day.
Hey, look at there. Oh, somebody just gave us a thumbs up.
That's good.
I like thumbs up.
Well, with everything that we've, we've touched on a lot of different things, you know, the touring industry.
Well, that's it's just a conversation.
Well, and that's what podcasts generally are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done a podcast before, so you never know what to expect.
Nah, you just get on here, talk, have some fun. That's what I do.
Yeah, I might need to get some more of this fun in my cup. I didn't say that out loud, did you? You guys can't see me, can you?
No. Here, I'll put it over on me. That way nobody can see.
Everything we're doing back here is legal, folks.
It's all legal. You can buy it at the store.
Yeah.
See, now you need to start doing a podcast every now and then.
You know, honestly, I don't like the sound of my own voice.
I don't either.
I
Don't.
don't. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's weird, man. I mean,
It's your voice.
It's, yeah. I mean, I never realized how annoying I sounded.
No, actually, I mean,
No wonder nobody wants to talk to me.
on this side, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You got a good voice.
Well,
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I've sounded like this all my life.
I've looked like this all my life.
Unfortunately.
Well, holy shit, we've been at this at an hour. Well, I think we ought to wrap it up.
Almost an hour anyway.
Yeah.
And then Facebook's still scrolling every now and then.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
people, I appreciate you all coming on and hanging out with us.
And putting up with Tim on his Facebook Live. So
I apologize. I apologize so much.
Well, dude, it's been fun, man. I appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me.
Man, this has been a blast. We got to do this more often. And if anybody out there is looking to do a pretty cool podcast, right?
Broadcast, whatever.
Yeah. He's got the setup. That's for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I tried to get about the best I could get, and it's just, I don't know. I'm gear wise. I'm just like, I got to have what's going to do the job. I don't care what it costs. I want what is going to do the job, put out a good product, and get everything going.
Well, shoot, just in cameras alone. I mean, I have a Canon XA or AX20, and that was a pretty good chunk of change. And you got a pretty good chunk of change sitting right here in just in cameras alone.
Yeah, it's the Vixia HF G50 camera.
I mean, what they're pointing at and looking at is a whole different story. But
Well, I mean, I tried to get something that would make me look better, but it didn't work.
that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a talent button that you got on that thing?
No.
Or a good-looking button?
I wish there was.
Golly.
I went through the subscreen on that thing 5 times, and there's no way it can make me look better. I've tried.
That's why I'm growing a beard so I can cover most of my face.
Hey, there you go.
You know, I think my next thing I'm going to do is go get a tattoo and have just a new face put on.
I never understood when Mike Tyson did that.
Well,
That just, I was like, dude. I'm not a fan of neck or face tattoos.
yeah.
I never have been. And all mine, I tried to make mine where if I wanted to, I could just cover them up. You couldn't tell. And I could air professionalism, I guess, because it's been frowned on so much.
That was back like
Well, it was
20
back in,
years ago.
yeah, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
they're a lot more acceptable now. I mean, shit, I see people at, these fast food joints, young kids. I mean, they got freaking nose rings, 4 or 5 of them in their nose
Oh, yeah.
and cheeks and ears. And I mean, they look like they tripped and fell into a tackle box. You know, I mean, it's pretty amazing, but you know, to each their own. I mean, I've never been one of those guys. I don't even have tattoos. I mean, I've never.
Well, you know, we can change that.
Yeah, I'm scared of needles. I don't need needles into me. I'm good.
Yeah, I went to the doctor the other day, and they had to draw blood for my yearly physical.
Mm.
And she's like, "You're not scared of needles, are you?" And I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Oh no, I had a guy in here. He had tattoos all over him, and when I went to stick him to draw blood, he passed out." And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" That was hilarious.
Well, yeah, I'm good, man. I don't need to see that.
All right, y'all, we're going to get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for listening to the David Bradley Show. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And a big thank you for Tim Thurber for coming out and hanging out with us for a little while. And we'll catch y'all more later. See ya. Bye.